Good afternoon. Welcome back to Passionate World Talk Radio Network, a wholly owned subsidiary of Global Media Network LLC. Educate, enlighten, and entertain. And this week on Scam DamNation, we are going to discuss the four things to do to protect yourself online from scams and hacks in the new year. And it's written by a bidder at businessinsider.com. The gentleman's name is Alex Bitter. And I thought I would do something to let you in on a few things. One, scammers and hackers are still committing fraud in your name. Number two, they've just transferred over to the new year, 2025, with some of their own 2025 resolutions on how to scam you better and fleece you and part you from your hard earned money. But don't be upset because right before the new year, the U.S. Treasury, yes, indeed, they were hacked by a group from China and they were quite successful. And we will take that up in another week to discuss how hackers access sensitive, quote unquote, areas of the U.S. Treasury. So rest easy. You're not the only one who is not immune to hackers and scammers. So, what do you need to know? Well, a cyber expert has claimed that there are four ways to protect yourself in 2025. And that you should also remember that keeping your online accounts and information takes work. So, one of the things that you need to be aware of from these small time cyber criminals, ETA Minor, MAOR, chief security strategist of Cato Networks, told Business Insider that there are ways and various tricks that you can use to avoid hackers and scammers from gaining access to your information. Many of these tricks and tips have been around for years, but recent developments, such as the rise of artificial intelligence, call for new strategies. It's a pain to remember another password or to enable another application to send you an SMS, he said. But it will help you not be the lower hanging fruit for those small hackers. Here are four tips for enhancing cybersecurity and avoiding hackers and digital scammers going into 2025. And it's just the third day. Number one, use strong, STRONG, passwords and have a secure place to keep track of them. If you use the same password repeatedly for different accounts, scammers get in because it makes it a lot easier for them. Instead, he points out to some long-standing advice. Create a separate password for each account and make each one strong, at least several characters long, with a variety of letters, numbers, and punctuation marks, and without common words or sequences like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep track of all those passwords. However, he has a pattern that he uses to create new passwords. Listen up. He says it's mostly secure, though. He said that the hackers might be able to figure out his pattern if they got enough of his passwords. There's also password keeping software, but bad actors can hack those too. A more secure option is a low tech one. For me, writing them down on a piece of paper is more secure unless you lose the piece of paper or misplace it. Put it in a safe place that you can never find again. Just make sure you don't leave it lying around in plain sight. Although Benjamin Franklin once said if you want to keep something from the spies, leaving it out in plain sight is the best way to do it. So think it through. Beware of social engineering scams. Some scammers don't use AI, but rely on their own communication and relationship building skills to steal money or information. Basic variations of this scam can include direct messages from people on Facebook or other social media apps who try to befriend you before asking for money or personal information. Others are more sophisticated. If I'm now an attacker and I want to attack your boss, I might connect you on LinkedIn and then I'll try to connect with your boss. That will create a mutual connection that can make the hacker appear more credible to the boss. So be forewarned, hackers and scammers use LinkedIn. It's like the old proverbial tale: if there's a clear path in the forest with no obstacles, predatory animals like bears and lions are just as lazy as humans and they will use those paths too. So think hard on this. Avoid AI based scams by making a plan with family and friends. Some scammers use AI voice generators to create convincing clips of people saying they're in trouble and need money. They then call the subject's friends and relatives and use the AI generated voice to rip them off. He said he already has a plan to avoid such scams with his family. They have agreed on a secret word they can ask for if they get a request that they may suspect may be AI generated. It's not something very common, said of the word his family picked. And I think we shouldn't be afraid to do that in our corporate environment, in a private environment as well, just to confirm. AI has also made phishing, phishing scams, which typically involve scammers sending emails that look like they're from a reputable source in order to get personal information about the recipient more convincing. If you're in doubt, go to their main website, call up their toll-free number, and ask them whether or not they sent you anything. That's the only way I know not to fall for those scams. Most guidance for avoiding phishing scams suggests looking for obvious typos in email to identify potential phishing scams. But scammers can also use AI to create grammatically passable message in any language they need. So be forewarned. Make sure to use two-factor authentication. It's been around for years, two-factor authentication. Asking a website or app to send you a code via email, text, or call that you must enter in addition to your password to log in remains a good way to protect unauthorized people from accessing your accounts. It's also possible to use an authentication app like Duo, DUO, or Microsoft Authenticator to sign off on login attempts, or a physical security key, which, when used near the computer, confirms that it's really you trying to log in, according to the Federal Trade Commission. So, go over this, and this time take notes, because the information may be yours or your boss's or your mother-in-law who you're trying to take care of. Common sense, folks. Find out. Call up your bank and ask them how to protect yourself. All the credit cards now can send you alarms if they feel like somebody has used your account by mistake or on purpose. You need to be part of the problem so you can protect yourself. Don't depend on the other guy, because that other guy might just be a scammer. Thank you very much for listening. You can hear and see this video all over again at https://passionalworldtalkradio.com. Scroll down till you come to current state of affairs. Click on the link on that page. You'll see a Google link. Click on that, and it will take you inside the belly of the beast. You can also go over to the same website, and instead of scrolling down, just do a forward-looking slash and put down blog, and it will take you directly to the blog with all the information. This show has been sponsored by 3 different entities. One is a publishing company in Singapore that can help you write up your memoirs professionally. Contact them at pwrnetworkllc@gmail.com, or by the obstacles of podcast training. This is not a scam. It is taught by someone who's been in the podcast business 19 years, Lillian S. Cauldwell. And you can reach us at pwrnetworkllc@gmail.com or text to 484-364-1032 and start using AI yourself and really protect yourself. Go over to http://Lillian, Lillian, and before Lillian, put AI with WITH Lillian.com. Follow the leader, check out the demo, sign up for a monthly account. You'll be glad you did. Like they said, there's no such thing as a free lunch. And if you make an investment, it will pay off big. Thank you very much for listening. And remember, please keep listening. Thank you.